Mataji, the meeting is live streaming now.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So I will start. So we were in the chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. Okay, so let me, chapter 6, continuing today also. Let me pay obeisance to Sri Radha Govinda. Shri Om Ajnana Timirandasya Nanaka Shalakaya Chakshunmitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yugapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagarachatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vittam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakana Vittamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dino Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatesha Tarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we were just a little bit of overview. Krishna gives an understanding about the nature of mind, saying it can be your enemy or it could be a friend, depending how you are able to control it. So, and then we talked about the eightfold process of yoga, Ashtanga yoga. If anyone remembers all the 8 process, Yama, Niyama, then asana. How that is what are the disciplines you have to do. You have to be in a secluded place, and then you have to temperate your eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. You have to eat not less nor more, sleep less, not more sleep or less sleep. Everything should be moderate. Then you have to be your sitting postures and everything we discussed. And then pranayama, how to control the breath. And then comes to pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, finally yutik. So that everything was detailedly explained by Krishna. And then he says how when Arjuna asked if you can't attain perfection of yoga. So we came to yoga ladder. So what was the thing when we came here? Here finally, this is how the steps up as the step. You take these steps. Yoga ladder means you start with karma yoga, jnana yoga. Then when you start from karma activities, karma kanda, then you start working for the Lord. Slowly you come so that you want to less your sinful reactions. Then with more and more understanding and knowledge, you come to the stage of jnana yoga. Then you start controlling your desires and sense gratifications. Then you come to Ashtanga Yoga, where we talked about, and then finally you will be in the Samadhi coming into Bhakti Yoga. But instead of all that, Arjuna himself says it's very difficult, and what is the easiest process. So this is where your Krishna consciousness comes. If you are in that consciousness right from the beginning, you will be on the platform of meditation in beginning itself. So let us see this part of it today. So, yoga practices, spiritual practice. See, there are in different yugas, the yoga practices are there for different yugas, like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwarpa Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So, in the scriptures, there have been given yoga practices have been recommended for different practices for different yugas. Okay, in Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, 3rd chapter, in 52th verse, it says, for Satya Yuga, you have meditation on Lord Vishnu. That is what we talked about, no? All the Ashtanga Yoga and all that. And you have to meditate on the Lord Vishnu. Okay. And then comes in Treta Yuga, they were doing a lot of sacrifices and thing, expensive ones. So they had done, so that was the practices there, doing a lot of your thing. Then in Dwapara Yuga, it was elaborate temple worship. Okay, this is, but what happens for the Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga, the present age, chanting holy names of the Lord. Sankirtana Yagna is what is being recommended, and this is what we think in the, yeah, who was speaking? That's good. Yeah, we are. Thank you. And so chanting of holy names of the Lord is the present age Kali Yuga, that is the yoga practice, which has been recommended from Chaitanya Prabhu. So it is up to us whether we want to climb up to the floors by going by the staircase, that is Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, then Ashtanga Yoga, then go to Bhakti Yoga, or you can take the lift itself, elevator, go to that by taking this Sankirtana Yagna. Okay, so that is the choice we have. Either you go by the lift or you take the staircase. Nobody interested. So what is this mantra we are talking about? Man plus tra. So man is what is your mind, and tra is your delivery. So this mantra will deliver us to the Lord. And what is, and once you japa, that is you start chanting it, that is known as japa meditation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Sankirtana Yagna is when you start, that is japa meditation, when you do it on your own. But if you join with your all the devotees and you go on the road or a thing and do that, that is known as Sankirtana Yagna, where they do Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is what the devotees were to do on the Sankirtana Yagna, that is on the streets and on the with the full gathering, not on your own, but you're doing with a group of devotees. And why? And you might think, was this mantra given by the ISKCON alone, by the Prabhupada? It's not there. It was given in the scriptural references. There are a lot of scriptural references are there for how, where it has been given. The chanting the holy names of the Lord is what is for Kali Yuga. So we are going to go give you those evidences. I mean, we just don't say, Prabhupada doesn't say it on its own. He says it is there in the scriptures. Let us see what are the evidence. From Narayana Samhita, it says, Dwaparayat Janair Vishnu Pancharatrais tu Kevalai Kalau tu Nama Matrena Pujyate Bhagavan Hari. In the age of Kali, people should simply chant the holy names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this was given in Narayana Samhita. Then what is given in Srimad Bhagavatam? Here he says, Kaler dosha nide rajan asti hi eko mahan gunaha kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vichet. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, it is said, no, Kali Yuga is always a yuga of chorus. In fact, there are 4 symptoms, which it is clearly mentioned in Bhagavatam, say that Kali Yuga, the people will be lazy, they'll be full of anxiety, and they have short life, and they will always, and they'll be get easily misled, and also they will be in misled, and they'll be unlucky, unfortunate. So these, that what we see now also, we get easily, it's full of quarrels. Always there's a conflict, and people are either conflict among themselves or among the country to country, and that conflict we're seeing, it's an age of quarrel and short life. It's not like how it is in Satya Yuga or Dwapara Yuga. So here people have short life, and they are lazy, and they are misguided, and always in anxiety. But in this, there is something good. That's what is given in Bhagavatam. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Why was this given here is for Kali Yuga? Because people, it is known that people in Kali Yuga have less intelligence compared to the other yugas and short life. Since it is short life, you don't have time to understand all the Vedic scriptures and go through the entire thing and try to understand and get the transcendental knowledge and practice it. I mean, you don't have that much time in your life. So because of the short life and because of the less intelligence we have and things, and also because of the lot of distractions and anxieties. So this is a simple thing has been recommended. So that is one good thing. It is given here. It says in Srimad Bhagavatam. So in Kali Upanishad, what does it say? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. This 16, after searching through all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than the chanting of Hare Krishna. That is Shodashkam, the 16 verses. No, it is much more. It is more sublime for this age than the chanting. It is given in this Kali Shantara Upanishad. Then in Chaitanya Charitamrita, here it says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eve Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Gati Ranyata. So what does he say? In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Gati Ranyata. Kalau Nasti. So there's no other way. There's no other way. That's what says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 17th chapter, 21 verse. So then it also says in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 25th verse, Yajna Japo Asmi. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names Japa. This is what the Krishna himself says, that in the chanting of the Japa meditation, he is the Yajna Asmi. So this is the references we are given. So how do we go about? I think we shared you the dose of chanting also. First we chant the Pancha Tattva mantra before starting to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What is the Pancha Tattva mantra? Is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu is none less than Balaram. He is the Adishesha. And Advaita Gadadhara, you have Sadi Gaura Bhakta, you have Narada also, then Shiva also here in this. So we start Pancha Tattva mantra first, and then only we go to the then we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay. Then, and how do we do it? We have to chant this audibly, loud enough to hear the mantra. Not for the others, at least you should be able to hear it yourself. Pronounce each name distinctly. And we should chant with respect, devotion, and concentration. One thing you can understand, see, I've been showing the videos. This is the only thing which the Prabhupada had believed in, what his spiritual master said. And he was just this. He was, when he was alone in US, he was only chanting in the, he used to go to the park, sit and Central Park is there, in Newark, and then he used to chant first. And he says, you, Krishna, it's your name. You have the power in this. So you only have to do this. I don't know. I have come here on the order of the Lord. It's you who have to do it. That's all. And he believed in that and it did work. And this is only thing he preached to the devotees there who became his followers, and he taught them Bhagavad Gita and also Bhagavata. So chant with respect, devotion, and concentration. So that will slowly reduce your, clear your misgivings in your heart, clear all the dust in you, purifies it, and then you will slowly be able to understand this science of Krishna. And then what you can chant in any place, sitting or walking, facing any direction. There's no hard and fast rule. Because for this mantra, there are so many other mantras there, in Vedic literature you can see, but there are a lot of restrictions there, but not for this. And you can chant at any time during the day. And you can chant either before or after taking bath. But if you chant with keeping count, that is, I mean, if you keep, have a Tulsi Mala or the 108 beads, and one round is chanting 108 times is one round. Okay, so this is the, that helps. Like, it is like, accounting is always good, it's nice. And what are the don'ts of chanting? We should not chant on this is known as the Krishna bead. You should not chant on this, and you should only chant here. Start from this and you go. So one should not chant on the Krishna bead, and you should not chant only a portion of it. You have to completely Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, and you should not chant while reading a book or newspaper or teaching a TV. You should focus on that, and you should also listen to what you're chanting. And let us look at the benefits of chanting. It actually from unwanted drives and habits. Like, there are a lot of addictions you have, people I think, and people have been come out of it, addictions. In fact, there were many hippies. Hippies were the ones who were listening to him, and they were into drugs and all that. But after associating with the Prabhupada, they gave up everything, and they were able to come out of it. It was not like they had to do any rehabilitation, and just chanting this Maha Mantra has helped them to come out of it. So you have freedom from anxiety and stress. You get peace of mind, real happiness, and enlightenment. So you can see how happy they are in their chanting, doing this Sankirtana. They used to do it in every city. Wherever they were, they used to do that on the streets and all that. In the beginning, they had some problems, but finally they found that it was not any particular religion or anything. It is just the science of Krishna, and it was nothing sectarian. Okay, they are from anxiety and stress. And let us look at some people's quoting what they say about chanting Hare Krishna. So this is George Harrison. So what does he say? It's really a process of having realization of God. So self-realization is what this helps. This is chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. And he's known, he's a Beatles group in those days. And he had put it in his songs, in his album also. He has included this Hare Krishna mantra. And he was a great follower of the Prabhupada, and he was believed in this. And then we're going to see all these personalities who are there. So everything started happening for me when I began chanting of Hare Krishna. So who is this? He is the youngest director of 3M in France. He's in France, 29 years old, and he finds it that. And this is Ford family. Chanting Hare Krishna has made a tremendous impact in my life. So Alfred Bruce Ford, he was somewhere in teenagers, and that time he met Prabhupada, and it changed his whole life, and he became a true devotee. But he's a grasta, okay, and it's nothing. And being there in the family, but still he has been a devotee and follower, and he has contributed a lot to the movement. Even in that Mayapur, the big temple is coming up, no? He has, I think they say he has given up 300 crores or anything, but Albert Ford, the car owners, their families, they have from that. But he says it made an impact in his life. I've been chanting Hare Krishna for many years and I've never found anything more pleasurable. This is from N.D. Desai, leading Indian industrialist. Okay, so he is fine. This is from India. And then this is, who is this? Chanting Hare Krishna has helped me face all the ups and downs in my life with a great confidence and peace of mind. He is Rishikesh Mafatlal, CEO, Mafatlal. Then we see this, she is a model. Chanting helped me give up bad habits. It changed my vision of things. She was a Dutch model. Okay, it changed her life. And here is also a Dutch model. By starting to chant Hare Krishna, I feel tremendous happiness. So leading European models. then my outlook towards life is a lot more brighter after starting to associate with Hare Krishna devotees and chanting the Mahamantra. He is in Navy, Army officer, Bruce Greenberg. Okay, he's in France. Chanting makes me feel close to God. He's a top furniture designer in Italy. And this is a very interesting. Mahamantra significantly reduces stress, depression, mode of ignorance, and considerably increases mode of goodness. This is what happens. This is the very much benefit to go into the mode of goodness. We are going to learn about this material modes in the coming chapters. And who is he? He is the David Wolf, Master of Social Service. And actually, this was his thesis for his research, PhD thesis. So he did a research for studying the effects of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he's a very, you can see a lot of his articles are there in online. So when I'm stressed out, I chant. It's one thing which charges me, my batteries. It clears my mind and brings me back in focus. So this is what he said. He's a printing executive, and they are much all the time stressed out. No, they have to bring out the books or newspapers or anything on time and everything. When I'm nervous, I find chanting very calming. I don't get shaken up at little things. She's a merchandiser. And the last is chanting Hare Krishna and reading authorized books on Krishna consciousness brought me great peace. So who is this? He is a Ramesh Lal, Toronto Health Spa proprietor. So you can also chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Hare Hare. So what did we see here is the first 6 chapters, no? Chapters 1 to 6. It was all on Karma Yoga. See, 1 to 6 is Karma Yoga. Then 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. Then from 13 to 18 is Jnana Yoga. Okay. So we looked about how Karma Yoga, how the things starting. And in this, we touched upon these are the 5 topics: Ishvara, Jiva, Karma, and Prakriti, Kala. So in Ishvara, what did we saw? The 3 realization: Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, Bhagwan realization, isn't it? That is, Brahman is the effulgence, Paramatma is the one who is there in every living entity, and Bhagwan is the complete something. And he is the in 5th chapter you saw, no? He is the Bhoktaram. He is a proprietor, and he is the controller of all the deities of everything which is going on here. And he's a well-wisher of all the living entities. He wants all of us to go back to him. And he gave us the transcendental knowledge in chapter 4 and the thing we saw. And one basic philosophy which he talked about on the Jiva, the living entities, is that we are the soul and not the body. And this is the part which I'm going to show you more about it in this, after this. Then he says, you are the part and parcel of the soul, and our nature is to be in service of the Lord. Actually, our nature is to do service. Either we serve the Maya, that is get into the sense gratification, or you serve the Lord. So that is the choice we have. That is the independence we have. And then he talked about our prescribed duties, Swadharma, and how doing the karma we can get into sinful reactions. He talked about vikarma, karma, nakarma. And then we looked at the yoga ladder, Karma Yoga to Nishkama Karma Yoga, that is do everything for the Lord. And then Ashtanga Yoga, where you control your mind and your sense perception, and finally reach Bhakti Yoga. Or you can take up to Krishna consciousness and do the Sankirtana Yagna, and directly you will be in this platform. And then more we are going to learn about Prakriti and Kala in coming chapters. Okay. So with this, I will go back to other PPT where I want to show you about more on the consciousness. Okay, I'll end this show. And okay. Why I talked about this? Because this is something nice videos are there. I mean, things are there. See, till now I talked about everything from scriptures, isn't it? Bhagavad Gita is what we know. But you might also be having in the back of mind, consciousness is something which we say is a symptom of our soul. That's what says in Bhagavad Gita. And we should know what do the modern scientists say. See, that comes in the mind, no? Because we are in this modern education, we are having the education where there's nothing taught about Bhagavad Gita is never taught, nor they talk about the soul or the body and things like that. So let us see how the scientists look at it. I mean, at least that part of it you should understand, because that will be there in everybody's mind. See, are we just a bundle of chemicals which are aligned together by chance? I mean, the body is not, of course, yeah, we have the way we've been taking medicines, allopathy. We have allopathy, homeopathy, and other one is the Ayurvedic. So ours is homeopathy and Ayurvedic, but allopathy is from. So they only treat the chemical. I mean, thinking this is the body with so much the way it is chemicals and all that. But we have our feelings and emotions, which cannot be just chemicals, isn't it? Then, and also we have something known as intuitive, some intuition we have. Intuitively, we know this is our hand, this is our head, and all that, and our legs. I think there are some intuition and understanding we have that cannot be explained by science. Okay. In fact, Albert Einstein says, intuitive mind is sacred gift and rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant, the rational mind, and has forgotten the gift. So the intuitive mind, that intuition which we have, that there's no explanation has come on that. So, but the study of consciousness, that is going on. There are many people, there are a lot of work is going on by the scientists. They want to study. And, their approach is totally different. They do by experiments. They try to, their logical mind, they want to study. So in the beginning, earlier 20s, they analyze the constituents of the human body in terms of the elements, like, whether how much iron we have, how much carbon, how much sugar, how much potassium, what is lime and fat, phosphorus, water, like that with all these elements. And when they calculated, for that, they saw it was cost of 210 rupees at that. That's what they came up with, the chemicals which we have in our body life. But is it just chemicals? Like this is, something like a friend had to meet a person, and he had promised that he'll come by afternoon, but then the friend, then he receives a call saying his friend has met with an accident. And the car is smashed on him also. Which is more important, whether it's the car or the person? Can you value the person now? That's the thing. Car is 4 lakhs. You can always replace the car, but you cannot replace the person. It's not just worth 200 rupees. It's much more, because the life you cannot bring back. Same way. So now, sorry, let me, I think, share the sound. Then only you can hear the thing. So this is what we have learned in
The soul cannot be measured with any scientific instrument. Yet this minute, non-material entity, the soul, is so powerful that it unceasingly activates each body throughout its entire lifetime. This tiny little spark of life thus moves from one body to another. This is called reincarnation. It is not difficult to understand. Even in our own life, we live in different bodies. On the battlefield, Krishna tells Arjuna,
as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from childhood to youth to old age, the soul likewise passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change.
So this is what they have seen in Bhagavad Gita. But in science, they're still working on what the consciousness and all that is. Still, they are trying to understand by their techniques, their way of learning. And they have a lot of questions unanswered. There's a book, that's been published in magazine, July 2000, about 125 questions, which still the scientists are still working on. If you type it, you can see it in online. And one of them is, what is life? What is the life? And still, the scientists have not been able to decipher 4 things. One is birth, then death, then diseases, and this one, old age. See, everyone is having these 4 problems. No one can escape from that, right? But still, we can't escape old age, nor the diseases will be there. Diseases could be from the mind or to the thing. But only can give a treatment, but why it comes, how it comes, that the scientists is still not got, they are not able to solve these 4 problems. But here it says, Nobel laureate, I think that life could be beyond the assembly of biomatter. So there are many quotations are there, but I just took one, okay, where you can see, they're about life, they're still all debating there. And even there are a lot of conferences being held. Even this was held in 2019, 21 and all that. They all are talking about cognitive science and studies on consciousness. But we have our Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, they are very much advanced. We know what about consciousness, what is the soul and how that. Okay, and we know this also. When a man dies, he passed away, we say. But who has passed? Because the body is still there, right? So who has passed away? The body is still there, right? So we know that. So this is very interesting. Past life memories. This Einstein is a professor of psychiatry, University of Virginia. He has done extensively investigation over 2,000 cases of spontaneous reincarnation. This is what I wanted to show you on reincarnation memories. Okay.
Delhi, India, 1930. 4-year-old Shanti Devi tells her family that in a previous life, she was a woman named Lugdibai, and that she had lived in the nearby village of Mathura. At first, they dismissed the story as a childhood fantasy, but she knows so much about this other world that she eventually convinces them she's telling the truth, and they journey to Lugdibai's former village.
She actually went to meet her previous husband and her other wife. He also, after talking to her, believed that she was the reincarnation of his previous wife who had died in childbirth. And then eventually, Mahatma Gandhi got involved in this whole story. He had an investigation made, and Gandhi himself said that he was satisfied that she was the reincarnation of this other woman.
Could Lugdibai have died and been reincarnated as Shanti Devi?
When the soul goes up, and then it has to be born into something else, in another life form. So then it comes back to earth in another living form. So that is the idea of reincarnation.
If the concept that the part of our consciousness that forms our personality, that makes us who we are, continues to exist after the body has died, then might many of us have lived past lives. And only a handful of people, like Shanti Devi, are able to remember them. Some believe that not only is reincarnation real, but that in certain cases, there has even been physical evidence to support this.
When we examine the reincarnation research, a consistent theme emerges regarding the existence of birthmarks on someone's body. What we found is multiple cases of people who have bizarre birthmarks who then accurately remember having been someone else in another lifetime. And in some of these cases, we can confirm that their past life person died in a particular way, and they come back with a birthmark corresponding to that exact area. If they die by gunshot, we know where the gunshot wound took place. The person reincarnates and they have a birthmark right where the gunshot actually entered.
Is it possible that a birthmark could be the consciousness creating a physical manifestation of a traumatic event that happened in a previous life?
So these were some of these cases which they said, no, they found the chest at an Indian youth as a child. He remembered the life of a man, Maharam, who was killed with a shotgun fired at close range. And this was a boy, Turkish boy, who said he remembered the life of a man who was fatally wounded on the right side of the head by a shotgun discharged at close range. Here is almost absent fingers in one hand of a boy in India who said he remembered life of a boy, Anardevji, who had put his hand into the blades of a fodder chopping machine. So this is a thing about, she was 11 years old. A deep constriction ring can be seen on the left thigh and a more shallow one on the lower part of the right leg. There was a band of increased pigmentation. So they say he was killed and they were tied him in a sack and things. That's how he got this deformation. Yeah. So this was done by this study research was headed by Dr. I.M. Stevenson, and about the past life memories. And he took evidences like, recollections, recognitions, behaviors, and birthmarks. And he has really done these things. And they have come up with more than 2,000 cases all over the world. It's not just India and things, but they have taken from wherever they heard and they had done the systematic research and they've been able to think. And he has brought it a lot of books also, famous works by him. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. It is this concept. It's okay. Now we might accept it as a theory, but it takes some time to really imbibe into us, about this soul being there. So that is one of the reasons. Though we are trying so many means to enjoy life, there's always something missing. We are not fully satisfied. We might have a big house, we have a job, and we might have a car, a luxury. In spite of all this advancement, men are dissatisfied. They are full of anxiety, stressed, and depressed. So, and above all, unhappy. That's what we are trying to get the answers in Bhagavad Gita. We are saying that. And I think this is confirmed. Because of our acharyas, we are having these scriptures, like Vedas, who has given us the scriptures, Vedas and Mahabharata, everything. And then we have also from Madhvacharya, who was a dyslexic section. Then we have Ramanujacharya. Then we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of course Shankaracharya, who says the Bhagavad Gita is the one scripture is more than enough because it's given by the Lord himself. That confirm the same truth. Okay. So with this, I will, this is what we have seen in chapter 2, where Krishna says, Na jaite mrityate va kashim, Nyaya bhutva bhavita nirvana bhuyayo ajenityo. That is, for the soul, there is never birth nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Okay. This is a very interesting thing. Is your brain really necessary? With this, I will stop. At a certain stage of biological complexity, biologists claim conscience pops out of the brain. They say like that. Okay, some say. Some philosophers says nobody has the slightest idea how anything material could be consciousness. There are some different opinions. And some say the brain is that it's working whatever is sometimes called as mind, are a consequence of anatomy and physiology and nothing. That's what this person says. So mental activities are entirely due to the behavior of nerve cells, glial cells, and atoms, molecules, and makeup and influence. So this is, they don't think there is something like soul and all that. Okay, they have their own theory. And there was one, this John Laba is a British neurologist. He has published this. Is your brain really necessary? Because what he found was there are patients. See, this is how our brain is, with the thing. There is a lot of things. But in some cases, some patients, he found there was no brain tissues at all. They was full of fluid. See, all these dark patches, no, it's all fluid. There was no brain tissues. But the person was normal. He had a IQ of 125 and he could do mathematics and he could talk everything, but his head was slightly larger because it was full of fluid. And they say this disease is called Okay, we go back to it is called hydrocephalus, water on the brain. Okay. And so the people have normal intelligence and they display no obvious symptoms despite their brains being mostly water. So that means there's no conscience in the brain. They can still live with water in their brain. So he says, does it really? He argues that it can bestow so much. We say a lot of information, memory, and all is there in our brain. But is it there or what it is? There's still it's a big question mark for us. Information relating to long-term, this is the orthodox view, that brain in some chemical or physical form. But this person who has done this research, he says it cannot be. There's what the people also are there. So there's some lot of things are going on. Okay. So I won't, I think with this I will stop because I'll end the show here. Otherwise it will go on, So there's a lot more things. And I'll just the prayer. Vancha kalpaturu abhyascha kripya sindhu ave evacha patitam nam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram. I hope you like these things. I know for this only because it takes a lot of time, I just continued. And with this, because this whole the philosophy which was come up in this first 6 chapters, the basic thing is we are the soul and not the body. That's what he told Arjuna, and also talked about the karma, right? So I hope you all liked it. Is there any questions you want to ask? I mean, these are all presentations from our Prabhuji. That's how I showed you all that. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, sir.
So I want to know that in this PPT you will discuss about the brain concept. Okay. So what is the conclusion of that and what are the learnings from this brain concept?
What is the learning from?
The brain concept, the last topic that you choose.
The brain. Yeah, see here the lot of scientists are still working on the consciousness. They say, they talk about brain is the bodies are full of chemicals. They don't believe in the soul. Okay, they don't believe in that. And so they are still think there are a lot of contradictory views they have. So some say it is full of chemicals and think they still have not come into any conclusion. There's still a lot of theories put it and they're doing their way in their own way of research. But what we are trying to tell you is our scriptures are very clear on this. That is, we are the soul, which is eternal, and we have our mind and the subtle body and a gross body. The gross body is the one which we leave and we go to another body when we die. And that how we think the law of karma is what we talked about. The science of Krishna science is what is all in Bhagavad Gita. That's the conclusion. Because the modern scientists are still working and working, they go because our senses, actually Prabhupada says we have 4 imperfect senses, imperfections in us. One is our senses are not perfect. Like, I can see with my eyes if there is light, but if there's darkness, can I see?
No.
No. So like that, our senses are all limited. We have only imperfect. The other thing is we are caught in this maya. We are in this illusion. We think we are here and think that we are that. So illusion, we are in this illusion and we have a cheating propensity. And also we are this thing, 4 kinds, one more is there. So with this imperfections, we cannot understand this transcendental knowledge. So it is beyond our logical thing. So we should accept by hearing and by what the scriptures say. Because with that, with our senses, we cannot fully understand that thing. It's beyond our logical things. You can't go by how we are studying our material world. No, we can't do it like that for this science. So that is what we have to understand through hearing and through Shruti Pramana. See, I mean, I can give you one example. I mean, if a mother can tell you who your father is, isn't it? But can I question that? I mean, I have to believe her. I mean, we have to take her word that who is a father. Otherwise, what we have to do, we will be doing experiment. Is this person is my father? Is this my person, my father? You can go on and on and on and never ending the research. But if you accept that, yes, that she's the highest authority, she is telling that this person is your father, then you accept it. Same way, in the scriptures are given by the highest authority for us. The same thing, and all the acharyas and all that. So we accept what is given in the scriptures, in the Vedic. That's how we learn the Vedic scriptures. Okay. And anything else? Hare Krishna. Strikutta, Ritvik.
Mataji, one doubt. It is said that we forget our previous life because the burden of another life, the hardships and everything must not be remembered by the soul for the functioning of that next life, no Mataji? But why do some people remember it?
There are cases like that, but we don't know why. But maybe why it has become, because that we cannot understand that, right?
I
but
mean,
there are cases where they are there. That's what we showed you. By that we come to know that reincarnation exists, isn't it?
I mean, Mataji, like, does it count as a curse or is it actually a boon in disguise?
I can't tell it's a curse or a boon, but it occurs means it's something will of the Lord only. So something, but not a curse or a boon. It's something happens by the plan of the Krishna. By plan of the Lord, we can't understand that. But one thing is, it's good not to know about it, because you will be just worried about it, so many things. And our relationship today is all with temporary. We don't have the same people whom we are relating in the previous birth, isn't it? The previous birth we had a different relationship with different people. So it's better not to remember, and it's better not to know those things. The only thing is what Krishna says here. Once you come into this, I mean, you're going to see in the coming chapters where he promises that once you come and surrender to me, I will eradicate all your sinful reactions. I will give you the liberation from this death and the birth and death cycle. So he is giving us the promise. And also he told in chapter 4 that if you just understand the transcendental, that is from appearance and disappearance and how he has come in this world and why he has come. If you understand this science, and then people will, once you understand this transcendental knowledge, they can easily come to me. And once they come to me, he gets liberated. That's what he says there. Many Mahajans have done it. People who have understood him and have understood this knowledge, they have gone back to him. So it is Divyam. That's what he says. His knowing about Krishna is Divyam. So that is why the Sankirtana Yajna has been recommended in Kali Yuga for us. It's a simple one, and we can understand that science. Okay. And it's I feel it's good. I don't remember that. That forgetfulness is good for us. Anything else from Datta? Sukrita Mataji? Any questions?
Krishna has said that he'll come to the place where there is a lot of adharma.
Okay.
So in Kali Yuga, will Krishna return?
Yeah, he will come. Krishna will come. He will come. And he came and 500 years ago, no, we say, no, Chaitanya Charitam. He came as a devotee to tell us how to be a devotee and how to go back to him. And he showed by his thing. So that is a hidden incarnation when he has come there. He has come as Krishna there. But he will come in Kali Yuga also, he will come. By the end of it, it will come.
Ma'am, in what form will he come?
That we don't know, Kali Yuga. I don't know, so many million years are there too. Kali Yuga, they say is Kalki, he'll come as Kalki, but I don't know for the thing for that. That's what they say, he comes as Kalki. But I don't know how many births we'll have taken by then.
Mataji, it is said that a human would have to put a ladder to like reach the height of a tulsi plant.
So our life also gets shortened and shortened, you know. By the end of Kali Yuga, we might be having only 20 years of life. We might not even live for 100 years. Already the lifespan is coming down, no? Our health and all that, all are coming down. So it is coming down in that way. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, how to remember always that I am a soul, I am a soul, I am a soul? Because when we engage in the material world or anything, we simply remember that we are just a human body, so enjoy.
Yeah, it is easy. It's not that easy to be on the body platform. No, that's why we tell you to chant. When you start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, slowly it will come, that understanding, you know. So it is not like you will get it in 10 years time or you'll get it in 1 year and things like that. It's not like that. We don't know what all is there with us, no, in us, the dust, the things we have in our misgivings like lust, greed, desires, and all are there, no? So much. Each the individual is different from the other. So it will happen for things. But only thing which is, if you have to just believe in the process, you should have a firm faith in the process. Once you have that Shraddha, the faith, and you do it, okay, I don't know, but the master, the spiritual master has recommended, it's there in the scriptures also, in the Shastras also, let me do it. So if you do it with faith and you do the process, no, the process will work. Because there is evidence, no, around the world, when the way Prabhupada did, he only did this. And people just believed him. And he said, you do this, you will go back to God. He just said, and they believed him and they practiced this sadhana. And they did convert, and people were all hippies, and they were having intalk. They used to take drugs, smoking and all that. It all left. They all could leave it. Everything, those habits left, and they could get peace of mind, and they were so happy, and they were happy to work for Prabhupada and take this movement forward, and they were spreading whatever they have learned to the others. So this process works. You have to have a firm faith in this process. That's all. And you have seen the evidence. Why doubt? If you have doubts in our mind, nothing will work. So we should have a faith in this and believe it and adopt the practice. It will take time. It takes sometimes, you know, it's like mathematics. Some people can learn easily in 2 days time how to the tables and all that. Some people will take more time. Anything, you know, when you want it, learning will take some time. But you have to believe in the process. The process is Krishna consciousness is to be doing chanting. So start with the chanting. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Mantra will deliver you. Man plus tra. I told you, no, this today's thing. That's why I focus this this one now for this, no, to show you all the videos on reincarnation and to also about the soul, because this is the basic thing in this Bhagavad Gita, this philosophy. And forward more, once you are firm on that, it's easy to understand the coming chapters. Okay?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. What shall we? Hare Krishna, Madhya Nagda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Okay. So how is it going?
Yes, Mataji.
Good.
Fine, and yes, good. It's means more I'm understanding again and again.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mukherjee Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Should I answer that question? Somebody asked whether Krishna can come in this Kali Yuga.
Yes, it can come. Why not, Prabhuji?
I will give some practical this thing. It is a matter of belief. Many may say, no, it is not like that. But when a person, a devotee, is Krishna conscious, and Krishna also sees that this devotee is a real devotee. He is not showing off. He is not artificial. Then, in the difficult times of that person, that devotee, Krishna will come in some form or the other and save him or give him solace and all that. So that time one has to feel that yes, I have seen Krishna in front. And it happened to me on 1st of April. I was driving to the highway here in Chennai. And then suddenly, probably my car was between 60 and 70 kilometers per hour. And suddenly I saw something jumping around in the left side. I said, what is that? I could not make out. What is that jumping? Then I immediately started slowing down. Suddenly I saw a cow crossing over from the median of that road, highway. And it was like fraction of a second that I swerved a little. The cow took a left turn so that he did not cross the road. He just took a left turn and passed my car. So I felt at that time there was no way that I could be saved. Fortunately, in the car besides me, there were also two more devotees who were very dedicated devotees of Krishna. And we were saved by the scheme. And if you see the situation, cow, God, Krishna in the form of a cow, coming and telling us that probably you are going at a bigger speed, go slow. He saved us. Death was imminent, but that cow took a direction and saved us. And that feeling, when as a devotee, I feel that only Krishna could have saved us, and Krishna came and saved us. That is what I am feeling. This is what is my reading of the situation, whether Krishna will come and show. This is how Krishna will definitely come and show.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So we'll close this thing. It's already 8. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.